Right now at 5:30, the cleanup is still underway on Maryland's eastern shore, where a tornado destroyed at least 14 homes. At least 9,000 other residents suffered some kind of damage to their property, and that means insurance adjusters are working overtime, and homeowners in crisis have a lot of questions about whether they're going to be getting a fair deal. Scott Broom is on Kent Island, where he's been looking into whether or not victims should hire someone to look out for them. Scott.
Well, there's a lot of terminology here. You just mentioned insurance adjusters, but they're not the only adjusters in town. They're the ones that work for the insurance company. But there are other people called public adjusters, and they can work for you. It costs money, though. The question is that worth it? Well, while I was covering tornado damage yesterday and today, a victim named Kevin Brooks said he was just too overwhelmed with all the complications to decide about this, so he asked me to look into it.
The whole house is just absolutely destroyed.
With the roof ripped off Kevin Brooks's townhome condo, neighbors were being approached by people who said they could help, but they were not with the insurance company.
I don't know what decision to make.
They claim they can represent you in exchange for you giving them 10% of whatever settlement they get.
Correct, and they also claim that they can get more than the 10% is worth, so I guess, get more money at the end of the day. I just don't know.
The people offering their services are called public adjusters. What is a public adjuster?
A public adjuster is a licensed advocate for the property owners.
It's what Joel Applebaum of American Claims Management Services does for a living.
It's personal representation, just like you would hire a lawyer to represent your interest if needed. We are not lawyers, I want to be very clear about that, but we do personal representation specifically for property damage for the property owners.
So how do you guys get paid?
We get paid on a percentage of the structural and personal property claims that we put together and negotiate. Our fee never exceeds 10%.
According to a recent Consumer Reports survey, about 10% of insurance customers decide to go with a public adjuster like Applebaum. The higher the loss, the more complicated the claim can be, the more often public adjusters are involved.
It's amazing to me that there weren't any major injuries.
Applebaum met Kevin Brooks today and learned that a condo association will absorb much of the loss. Brooks decided he'll deal with his insurance company directly instead.
Did not need a public adjuster for my case.
So it was question answered for Kevin Brooks because of the size of his claim, but it is clear that a lot of people can benefit from a public adjuster. According to a 2010 study commissioned by the Florida legislature, the study found that, quote, hiring a public adjuster typically resulted in larger payments to policyholder. So the thing to take away from all of this is, depending on the size of the claim, you have options. Of course, you call your insurance company first right away, but then you consider whether or not you might want representation if the claim begins to unfold in a complex and expensive manner. Reporting live on Kent Island, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
Got a question? Ask Scott. He'll get you the answer. Thank you so much. Public adjusters are licensed in 45 states and in Washington, D.C.